Hi, Phil Schoenberg, Fastpitch Power. A while back, I did a post. We talked about timing and how critical the timing of the pitch is to being consistently powerful and being able to command the strike zone. This is probably, when you look at the whole picture of what windmill pitching is, any athletic movement for that matter, that having your timing off is going to be probably the major reason that you're going to struggle in performing that movement. Now, we talked about, and I'll recap just a little bit here, how the pitch involves a load, a reach and a track, and a fire and a drive. Okay, we talked a lot about that. And we've talked a lot about that in other posts as well. When I come off that pitching rubber, I want to come off as aggressively as possible. I want to get as far off that pitching rubber as I possibly can, as close to my target as I possibly can, so that when I fire that ball down my throw zone that I've created by coming off that pitching rubber in correct timing, and I'll just walk you through it, load, reach both hands together and stride foot as I push my drive foot backwards on that pitching rubber, landing in what we call power K position. You notice my stride foot is landed, my glove is pointing at my target, my pitching hand is between 12 and 10 o'clock on a clock. Let's call it 11 o'clock. This gives me the full backside of the circle to fire and drive, build as much momentum as speed coming down the backside of that circle as I possibly can. So I was recently asked by one of our followers, says, I have been taking some video of our pitchers. Now, these are accomplished pitchers. And sometimes it appears to me as though something is not right. Looks like the end of the pitch is off time. The track looks good. They're landing in the right position. So generally speaking, when you find that that's the case, and this is what we're going to talk about today, it's the timing of the drive foot. When does the drive foot come through? And what I see in a lot of young and developing pitchers is a common mistake. Even when they're doing their drills, not full pitching. Pitcher reaches, tracks well, and as soon as they land and their hand gets to between 12 and 10 o'clock on a clock, they start their drive through at the same time as they start their pitching hand down the backside of the circle. Now, what's that going to do? What that's going to do is it's going to rob me of the lower body power that I need to finish my pitch as effectively as possible. It would be similar in hitting to loading, putting my foot down, and then completely rotating my hips and then trying to swing through with power, instead of having my bat and my hands and my hips fire together to drive that ball. Same thing here. If I start my drive through too soon, my hand is halfway down the backside of the circle, I've already incorporated all of my lower body power. So what do we want to make sure as pitching coaches and as pitchers and as team coaches that our pitchers are doing to maximize their power and command? When I come off that pitching rubber and I land in power K position, what we like to tell our young pitchers is to imagine that there's a hook growing out of your hip. And our elbows come down the backside of the circle. This is the key to forearm fire. Forearm lag, palm up, elbow down. My elbow picks up that hook, and just at the moment that I start my extension, snap, and acceleration in forearm fire, when my elbow picks up that hook, my drive foot comes through. Not before, not after. We want our drive foot to come through as fast as our hands. Now, generally speaking, your hand is going to go faster because it's got no resistance. It's in the air. Drive foot's on the ground, but your drive foot only has to go to your stride foot. I got a barrier here. My drive foot hits my stride foot and it stops. My pitching hand has no such barrier. It can go to the end of the throw zone with maximum speed and whip. My timing on my drive-through is absolutely critical. When my elbow gets down to the backside of the circle, it picks up that hook. And as I do my forearm fire, my drive foot comes through pretty close to as fast as my hand is going down that throw zone. When I do that, then I have utilized all of my upper body speed and my lower body power in unison. Together, they work to give me maximum speed and command. If your pitchers are struggling with command and speed, and everything else looks okay, check the timing. Reach, track, fire and drive. If you do that, you will help your pitchers. If you're a pitcher, you will help yourself to become the best you can possibly be. If you have any questions on this, love to hear it. Love to hear your comments. Talk to you next time.